Alright, so my movie was Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh God. Which one?
It's alright. I know what happened in it, I just don't know what the titles are. Going into this, I had seen the series once, a long time ago. Don't remember almost any of it. I remember little blips of scenes. Probably pieced together mostly from parodies. So I honestly thought that the first one was one of the other ones, but that's alright. Because I thought it was the one with like the Holy Grail.
That's the third one.
Yeah, I know that now. After watching it. I picked this. I narrowed it down between Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park. And I picked it pretty much because I had seen Jurassic Park a few more times than Indiana Jones, since I'd only seen this one time. And I don't know, I figured Jurassic Park would go over well with you guys. So I kind of just wanted to see how Indiana Jones would. So this dude,
Archaeologist.
Mr.
Doctor.
Professor Dr. Mr. Indiana Jones. He is kind of a treasure hunter, in a sense.
An archaeologist.
An archaeologist.
He's a
treasure hunter.
Part-time professor.
Part-time professor, doctor man. He is trying to get this artifact type thing without giving out too many spoilers, which I guess it won't.
It's in the title.
It's a lost ark. That's all I'm gonna give away, man.
Alright.
He hunts down the lost ark, tries to get it before the bad guy does, and they kind of like competing throughout the movie. Stuff happens. And yeah, I liked it. It was nice being able to pair together all like the parodies and what it actually came from, because I'm like, oh yeah, that. A lot of stuff makes sense. Overall, I thought it was a good movie. I still really want to watch the other 3, I guess. It's not a trilogy. The rest of the quadrilogy.
Well, I fucking love Indiana Jones. I always have. I've seen those movies countless times. I love all 4 of them. Yes, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I shamelessly love that movie. But no, Indiana Jones was probably my favorite film series up until high school. Then I saw the James Bond movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Indy is still really one of my top ones. I love everything about it. Raiders of the Lost Ark is my second favorite of the 4, and the reason being is, spoilers, but after the truck scene, which is an amazing scene, the whole truck chase. After that, the film kind of loses me a little bit. Because it just, I don't know, the boat stuff isn't super interesting, and then we get to the island, and I don't know, the ending is just kind of weird. It's not, I don't know, I can't really explain why. I'm just not a huge fan of the ending. Like this, he doesn't, the finale is not him versus the antagonist, Belloc. It's just kind of him letting Belloc destroy himself. I don't know. The ending has just always been kind of off to me. The rest of the movie is phenomenal, but once we get past the truck chase, it just kind of loses me a little bit. And the other 3, I think, much more satisfying endings.
Which one's your favorite? You said that
Last Crusade, by far. Raiders is good, but the ending is a little lackluster.
My thoughts on the movie, I think the movie and series as a whole is a pretty good story. I don't really have too much to say about it, other than it's a good movie and I would recommend it to anybody.
Indiana Jones. I hadn't seen this movie in a really long time. Going into it, I knew about all the famous scenes in it. Everyone knows about the boulder chase. Everyone knows about the ending. And everyone, of course, knows about the sword fight where the guy pulls out the swords, does some fancy mumbo jumbo, and Harrison Ford pulls out his gun and just pistol whips the shit out of him.
No, that's not a pistol whip.
I know, I just wanted to say pistol whip. He just shot him. Okay?
You sound unprofessional, Derek.
I just wanted to say pistol whip, okay? So just takes the gun out, shoots him. But that being said, as a standalone movie, it by itself is a pretty awesome adventure movie. You've got, like you said, Mr. Dr. Professor Indiana Jones. all of the students are in love with him because, you know, he's Harrison Ford and he's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Ladies.
He's an attractive man.
And then, you know, his, like the dean of the college,
His buddy Marcus. Yeah, he's the curator of the museum.
curator of the museum, just shows up and says, hey bro, time for an adventure. All right, let's do this. I know this kind of stuff. And then what do? They go on this adventure. So, you know, it goes from the beginning all the way to the end. It has a conclusion. Again, it could have gone just by itself and, you know, it would have been just fine. Again, I think it was just a way to gauge how successful of an idea it was. This is another one of Lucas's babies, if I remember right.
Yeah, he came with the original story. Spielberg directed it, though. And Lucas executive produced it.
Okay, yeah.
He was the original story. Yeah.
So I feel like that is very intentional, that the ending was conclusive to where if nothing happened after that, it would be no surprise. To Ryan's point with the ending, I agree that the ending is out of place, but I think that they could have done the same thing in a different way, or close to the same thing. I like the fact that, spoilers, Indiana Jones is not the hero of the day, and it is in fact the hubris of the enemy that destroys them. They destroy themselves. And it seems lazy to me that that's the same conclusion in the fourth movie.
It's not like the same, but it's
not the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's the hubris.
similar idea.
What it seemed to me though with the whole opening of, you know, basically Pandora's box, but you know, it's the Ark, they just wanted to show off their CGI. Because I just know George Lucas was waiting the entire movie to have his bit in there, and for the most part they kept all of that corny stuff out of there. Legitimate acting, stunts, special effects. You said that they actually did the truck scene.
Oh yeah, like the guy went underneath the truck. They actually did that. It's so fucking cool.
So that's the thing. But then at the end, George Lucas is like, all right, I'm an executive producer. CGI the living crap out of this, and just do something
CGI, it's
ridiculous.
special effects. CGI is computer generated, so.
Are you telling me that some of that in there was not CGI? Like
It
passing through
It
them?
wasn't CGI.
None of it.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing. Dude, they didn't have computers that do that stuff back then.
I guess call it special effects, but then, you know, George Lucas was waiting for his big flashy ending.
Yep.
So I think that his hand was in how corny that looked. But I still like the idea of hubris kind of being the winner and also humanizing Indiana Jones a little bit because he does a lot of crazy stuff and gets away. But I like how it's got a fun, childish, just adventurous feel. Almost like if you read the book The Hobbit, it's got that just kind of fun, wacky, adventurous feel the whole time. You're like, yep, nope, but who cares? It's Indiana Jones. But it humanizes him a little bit, and I like that. So, really good movie and a lot better than I remember.